guys, welcome back to my channel. This is OZ Movie Reviews. My name is Owen DeBrinker, and today we are going to review the latest Netflix film, Army of the Dead. This is the new action zombie post-apocalyptic film that's directed by Zack and stars Dave Bautista. Basically, this movie tells the story of Dave Bautista recruiting a team to pull off the biggest heist in post-apocalyptic Las Vegas while there are blood-eating zombies lurking around. Zack Snyder is probably one of my favorite directors of all time, like definitely in my top 10. I think he's definitely the best director for visuals in my opinion, like 300 or Watchmen. I love those movies, and you know what? I liked Man of Steel. I freaking love Man of Steel. It's one of my favorite comic book movies in a long time. But I would say he had some disappointments like Batman v Superman, for example, but his directing style in that movie was really well also. But just when the Snyder Cut came out, I'm starting to love Zack Snyder even more. So of course for Army of the Dead, I am pumped. Because this is his second zombie film that he did. He did Dawn of the Dead in 2004, which is his first ever movie that he's ever made. And that movie is very underrated. I think you should guys check that out. So I was excited to see his next zombie film. And I love Dave Bautista, and I just love zombie films. Zombie films are definitely my Halloween traits. So I was really pumped to see what Army of the Dead gives us. Now, this is when I have to give my honest opinion for this movie, because this movie was actually liked by people. Some people didn't like this film. In my opinion, I'm more in the middle with Army of the Dead. I feel like this movie has issues, but still, I had fun with this movie. I liked and I didn't like this movie, kind of both at the same time. I'm kind of mixed bag with Army of the Dead. For now, like, this is my first view of it. This is my perspective of the first viewing of Army of the Dead. There are bits I like from Army of the Dead, and there are bits that I don't like about Army of the Dead. Of course, let's start talking about what I liked about Army of the Dead. This movie is fun. This movie is a blood-splattering zombie mess, in my opinion. I really had a lot of fun with the action scenes in this movie. This movie is full-on radar. Like, this movie has some gore. There are some scenes where zombies take out flesh and blood. It's exactly what I wanted for a film like this. The violence in this movie is really well done. The action was really entertaining. Dave Bautista was great in this film. I love Dave Bautista as an actor. I think he stands out more, in my opinion, than Dwayne Johnson and John Cena with wrestlers turning to actors. I think Dave Bautista can act. He can really act. Of course, he's Drax from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. He is a good actor. So in this movie, he's just this big guy with a gun and stuff. He's a character in this film. He has heart in this film. I want you guys to see the film to know who his character is, because I feel like if I reveal his character, it will ruin it for you guys. But I think Dave Bautista does a really good performance in this film. And definitely the crew members that did stood out for me is this helicopter pilot. This female helicopter pilot in this film was just badass. Even though she really wasn't much in the film. She's that chick from Instant Family. I think she really stood out with the crew members, in my opinion. I don't want to explain all the crew members because obviously this review will take ages. But out of the crew, I think this helicopter pilot kind of stood out. She's kind of badass, actually. I kind of want to see her own spin-off because she was actually a really fun character in this film. Even though she wasn't really a stood out throughout the rest of the crew in the film, I still think she's pretty badass in the film. The zombies, the look of the zombies look really good. Like, I love the makeup design of these zombies. They look cool, and I love how Zack Snyder did the zombies in this film. How they portray them. Basically, kind of like those running zombies that you've seen in World War Z, but they call these zombies in the movie alpha zombies. These zombies, some of them do kung fu, some zombies dodge when someone punches them. It's just really well done. It was really technique and original. We never seen zombies do stuff like this before. There's a freaking zombie tiger in this film. And the zombie tiger is freaking badass in this film. I love this zombie tiger. He is so cool. But I like what Zack Snyder did with these zombies. They make him much more badass than it is. They're not just zombies that run around and eat flesh. They actually do some really cool shit in this film. And it's fun, and it's entertaining, and that makes me enjoy this film even more. And I gotta say, my appreciation with Army of the Dead is Zack Snyder himself. He did a lot of things in this film. He directed, he written, he produced, and he also did the cinematography of this movie. I gotta say, it's pretty impressive to see Zack Snyder doing a challenge, like doing most of these crew member roles. And I gotta say, before I get into my flaws of this movie has some of the best opening credit sequences I have ever seen in a movie. If you watch this film, you know what I'm talking about. But even though I did have fun with the action scenes and had fun with this movie most of it, I would say this movie has issues, a lot of issues that I really need to take seriously. I'm kind of nitpicky sometimes when I review movies. This is definitely one of those fun movies that I just couldn't help nitpicking. First of all, the cinematography, the directing style of this film. Zack Snyder in this film does a lot of those out of blur shots. And it's very controversial for people. Some people think, okay, that's how Zack Snyder does his vision. That's his vision for a film. And some people feel like that's pretty annoying. In my opinion, I'm probably going for the annoying part. It's not like the worst cinematography I've ever seen. Just those out of blur shots. I just don't get it. I honestly did not get it. Sorry Zack Snyder if you're watching this. I appreciate your direction. But I'm honestly not a huge fan of those out of blur shots in my opinion. It really is distracting, especially when it comes to some scenes of the film that were pretty cool. Those out of blur shots really do distract me, and I think it does distract other people as well. Some people don't care, some people do care. I'm one of those people that kind of does care. At parts it felt like Zack Snyder was literally trying to fix the lenses. Like, that's what it felt like when I see this film. It's like Zack Snyder is literally trying to fix the lenses throughout the majority of the film. Also, the characters make really dumb decisions in this film. I know this is one of those films that you just can't take seriously. And I was trying not to, honestly. I was enjoying this as a zombie film, and for the most part, I did do that. But there are parts that I literally just couldn't help but, like, yell out, going, are you serious? Why are you doing that? That is really, really dumb of you. Why the frick you did that shit? And, like, every Zack Snyder movie, even though I like most of his movies, this movie was way too long than it actually is. And I know, the Snyder Cut this year was 4 hours long. But I think the thing I liked about the Zack Snyder Cut is that the pacing and the whole story, it was all entertaining all around. And I didn't feel like it was 4 hours. This movie, it felt longer than it actually is. Because there are some scenes in this movie that they go a bit personal. And it didn't need to be there. Like, it kind of changes this fun zombie film vibe to a serious drama at a couple of scenes. And I know it's trying to develop the characters a bit better in the film, not just people like killing zombies. I get what Zack Snyder was doing, but in my opinion, there are some scenes that really dragged on, and it really drags on with that time limit of this movie. But this movie is set up with a franchise that we've all kind of expected, with spin-off, a sequel, what I've heard they're making. And in my opinion, Army of the Dead is one of those movies that is a bright example of a mixed bag film. At parts, I loved this movie, and at parts, I didn't like this movie. The thing I liked about this movie is the action, the whole fun of this movie. Most of this movie is really fun, but I just couldn't help going through those nitpicks of this film, especially with some of the characters as well that aren't developed as well. Like the rest of the crew members, I do not give a shit about most of them, except for Bautista and this helicopter pilot chick. Those characters I liked in the film. The rest of the crew members, not a big fan of. The zombies look amazing. The zombie action, the gore, was definitely the thing that made me really intrigued by this film. And I'm honestly curious to see what this franchise goes, because it's still a fun movie overall. I just couldn't help myself with nitpicking a couple of moments in this film, especially those out of blur shots that really distracts me. But overall, for the most part, I did have fun with Army of the Dead. So I'm going to give Army of the Dead a C+. So that's my honest opinion of Army of the Dead. Don't kill me, guys, if you like this film. That is fine. It's your opinion. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Army of the Dead. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Facebook, Stardust, Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd. Keep contact with me. And make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, notify for my latest movie reviews. And have a nice day.